Hey there. Katie posted an interesting question about after you sort of come to accept tinnitus, that you have it, does it still take a while to get used to it and not notice it so much anymore? I would say yes. I'd say absolutely. I think the first thing is always to accept it. Accepting it is not just accepting that it's going to be bad. It's accepting that you're going to be okay, because you will. So that's such an important step, to come to accept it. And then you can start to get used to it. When you accept it, you get where it's no longer considered by your brain to be a threat, a danger. So then your brain treats it much differently, and it becomes much easier for you. But that doesn't mean that the sound goes away or that you quickly get used to it, maybe. I think it's kind of like that because, when you talk to most people about tinnitus, they don't get used to it in 2 months or 5 months even. It's usually longer than that, anywhere from like 6 months to a couple of years. And some people, even longer, but they still got used to it, But getting used to it is also something that you can train yourself to do, and you can increase the speed. At least that's my belief. And how do you do that? Well, I think what you need to do is getting used to it. Let me think about this for a second. So you get where you're able to divert your attention, and at first you have to purposely do it in order to get used to it. Like I've suggested doing all kinds of activities, but you get where your brain is so involved in that activity that you don't have time to, you don't really take yourself away from that activity, and you stop thinking about the tinnitus. So this is something where it really takes practice. I remember, I always kind of make a joke, and I say, like, don't think about tinnitus. Stop thinking about tinnitus. Just stop. See, that doesn't work. You have to say, I'm going to draw for a while. I'm going to go ride my bike. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to hang out. I'm going to go to a party. I'm going to go sing. I'm going to dance, play solitaire, any kind of activity, do yoga, anything where you can get your attention on that thing. That's how you start training yourself to get used to it. Yeah. And as you get more, accomplished at this, you'll find that the amount of time you're able to go without thinking about it or noticing it increases. So that's where the action is at. The success will come from you being able to increase the amount of time you don't think about it. And that does not come from don't think about it. That doesn't work. You have to really get involved in something. You got to find some activities that really use your mind, and you've got to think about how to do that thing really well, And then you'll start to get where more and more time passes and you don't think about it. And then I think you'll find after some time training, you'll find that just naturally, just whatever you're doing, you do that instead of spend your time thinking about tinnitus. And that's the whole thing. When you're not thinking about it, it's sort of not there. That's the hard part to really get at, because you don't really know how to describe that to someone who hasn't experienced that yet. Like, the sound is there, but you're not thinking about it. So in a way, it's sort of not there, That's sort of how it works. And it's kind of weird to try to explain that. But, I always, I think William Shatner, he had some kind of pretty good quote about that, where he said something along those lines. It's just, you won't notice it anymore. It'll go, it won't go away, but you won't notice it. And that's what'll happen. And just my theory is you can learn to do that faster if you do some of these things where you really train yourself to be involved in some activity. So that's all I can think to say about their question, Katie. But I think it's a great question, because everyone wants to know that. How do I get, where it doesn't rule me so much, you know. I'm not always thinking about it. I accept it. I don't like it, but it's still there a lot, and, you know, I'm having trouble focusing, that sort of thing, you know. Hopefully you can get a little further along that road as you train. All right, best wishes, Katie and everyone. Have a good day.